As crazy as this may sound today, was it really as simple as Nick Richards for the Phoenix Suns to be a competent basketball team all of a sudden again? I know it's only been one game, but goodness gracious, 7 of 8, 21 points, 11 rebounds, an assist to steal, no turnovers, like team high plus 22. Just goes to show, in all honesty, how atrocious the Suns center play has been this season, because Nick Richards just came in and did the basics. He set good screens, he finished around the rim, which he is one of the best bigs in the league at doing, and he got rebounds. That's all he has to do. The thing about the Suns team is when you have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal now coming off the bench as well, who, yes, he's absolutely overpaid. He's still a very talented offensive player. When you have guys with that type of skill set, all it takes at the center position are guys who are going to play their role. And Nick Richards did exactly that. Didn't try to do too much at all. Was just solid tonight. It is exactly the performance that the Suns need. A guy who provides defense, a guy who provides size, high level screen setting. He's going to finish around the rim, get rebounds, dunk the ball. And that's it. Play some defense. Like, it's very, very simple. I feel like the job that the Suns bigs have had is not that hard. And yet, especially Jusuf Nurkic, but Mason Plumlee, Oso Ighodaro to a lesser extent, those guys have made this look hard. Look, I get Oso's a rookie, and you can't ask too much out of rookies, but he is not ready. He's shown flashes, but he's not ready. Mason Plumlee, I'm sorry, you're not the answer. And Jusuf Nurkic, oh my lord, he should never see a basketball court again. I am an anti-Jusuf Nurkic. I don't like Jusuf Nurkic, so I do want to add that as a disclaimer. But point being, this was the type of performance that is so needed for the Suns. If they can get a center who, he's not going to be 7 of 8 with 21 points and 11 rebounds every night. That's not going to happen. But if they can have a center who's going to consistently do the right things, be in the right place at the right time, get rebounds, play defense, all the basic stuff that I've talked about already in this video, it is the key to, I think it absolutely can be at least a key, if not the key, to more sustainable success for the Suns team. Look, this is not going to be an easy rest of the season. I'm going to talk about why that is later on in this video, but tonight you get KD with 36 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 13 of 27. Devin Booker goes for 35. I mean, you get 71 points between your two superstars and an incredible performance from your third guy, which is that center. It's the same formula, in all honesty, as a team like Dallas. Luka and Kyrie, guys who are going to lead the scoring, centers who are going to play the roles. Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively especially, guys like that. It's the same formula, and it's a very valuable formula in a pick and roll dominated league to have a center who is going to be a high level screen setter. Nick Richards is that, who is going to finish around the rim at a high level when he gets the ball. Nick Richards is that. And there will be nights where he is 2 of 3. He only gets 3 shots. Maybe probably not many at that extent, but there are going to be nights where he's not going to get touches. And that's okay. You have to be okay with that. I mean, that I just have to say, he looked thrilled tonight. It's funny seeing, I didn't watch the game because I was watching the Washington and Detroit game, but it's funny to see on Twitter how happy he looked tonight. He's just happy to not be playing in Charlotte anymore. That dude is going to be more than happy to play his role on a night-to-night basis. He's not going to be a guy with an ego. He's not going to be a guy out here trying to get his every single night. He's going to play the role that the Suns need him to play. And it's fascinating to say that because look, PJ Washington did the exact same thing. Different position, but same story. In Charlotte, there were question marks about some of the effort stuff and some of the other things, but he's playing in a dysfunctional franchise that has no real hope, no real future, and honestly, not a lot of leadership. PJ Washington comes to a place in Dallas where he's got a competitive team, a team that is playing for something on a night-to-night basis, and a defined role for him, which is play defense, make open shots, be aggressive when you have the ball in your hands, but don't force and don't try to be a superhero. And he's done that. And that's the same story in a different role and a different position for Nick Richards, a guy who has really never played for anything that mattered his entire career. And so sure, there were going to be certain effort concerns at times. And I think there were Hornets players like, there were Hornets fans on social media basically talking about how Nick Richards isn't going to change a thing for the Suns. And it's like, yes, there are things that you can criticize about his game, but there is also a serious amount of consideration that you have to take to the fact that he's never played in a situation that matters like this. He's never played with superstars like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I mean, he's played with LaMelo Ball, but outside of that, and LaMelo's not, to this point in his career, proven to be a winning player. I hope he gets the opportunity to prove that. I hope the Hornets can actually build something. But as of right now, this is a just culture shift. It has to be for Nick Richards. Look, I'm not sitting here acting like the Suns have the best culture in the world, but they have a veteran head coach, veteran stars, a decent roster, a owner who wants to win, and a team that expects to win. that's circumstances that he has never experienced. And it's the type of thing that really does make this team a lot more interesting, because at the end of the day, you have Devin Booker not having his most efficient season and still averaging 25 and a half, 6.8 assists. Assist to turnover ratio is almost 3-1. Kevin Durant averaging 27, 6 and 4 on typical elite Kevin Durant efficiency. 58.6% from inside the arc is ridiculous, especially with the degree of difficulty, a lot of shots he takes. Bradley Beal, look, very good player, extremely overpaid, but still a very good player in his own right on the offensive end of the court. This team, if they can get all three of those guys healthy, now that they have a real big man, becomes interesting. I don't think they're serious contenders, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, the Suns got Nick Richards, now they're winning a title. Probably not going to happen. But they're at least a team that looks like they should be able to be a competitive playoff team now. Whereas I was seriously starting to think this team, they should just blow it up. And look, realistically, for the long-term health of this franchise, that's what they should do. But it's not what they will do. And I understand that. Ishbia wants to win. You have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. You don't want to blow it up. Now, would it be the smart long-term move to be a contender in half a decade? Yes, absolutely it would be. But as of right now, it's not the choice they're going to make, and I understand that. I just think getting Jusuf Nurkic out of the lineup with consistency and really just not having him see the floor anymore is going to be a beautiful addition, more than anything else. Tyus Jones is a solid point guard who shoots the three ball at efficient level. He's a great assist to turnover guy who doesn't turn the ball over much. Like, this team is actually kind of good. Royce O'Neal shoots 43% from three, always been a high-level 3-and-D guy. Ryan Dunn, despite the inability to consistently shoot at a super high level from his rookie season, hasn't been awful. I mean, 32%. He's actually been a little better as of late shooting the three. His defense is great. If he can just shoot solidly, he's a very useful player. Monte Morris hasn't shot the ball particularly well, but again, very good assist to turnover backup point guard. Maybe not quite as good as he used to be, but still, there's some interesting pieces. And I don't mind Mason Plumlee, Oso Ighodaro as your backup center duo. That's not a problem if you have a solid starting center, and they now have that. And it, again, makes this team far more interesting, because obviously they've struggled a lot as of late, but they have actually won 6 of their last 10 games now, 2 in a row, 21-20, tied for the 10 seed, tied for the 9 seed. Actually, it's not a perfect place to be, but they're only 2 games back of the 6 seed at the end of the day. The West is so compact, really from about 4 to 11, where it's a 4-game difference in total. It just feels like it's anybody's opportunity, and we still have half the season to go. After tonight, the Suns have officially played half of their regular season games. So it's a perfect time for them to try to get back on track and make a push going into the All-Star break for a team that has aspirations of being contenderish. And so it's gonna be interesting to see if they can actually do that. Now, the problem that I do have with that concept, and it's the last thing I'm going to touch on in this video, their schedule for the next couple weeks isn't brutal. You have Cleveland, who's tough, but then Brooklyn, Washington, those are easy games. LA depends if Kawhi plays, but that'll not be an easy game in all likelihood. Minnesota, not an easy game. Golden State is a very winnable game. Portland to Portland twice. You really should win both those games. OKC, not easy. Utah, pretty easy. Denver, Memphis, and Houston to end off the stretch before the All-Star break isn't easy, but if you can win 1 or 2 of those games, if you can win a couple of the games that you're maybe not supposed to win, and win the majority, if not all of the games that you are supposed to win, you can build momentum going into the All-Star break. The problem is, they do have the hardest remaining strength of schedule left in the league, and by a decent chunk. Like, they do not have an easy path. They still got to play the Cavs twice. They still got to play the Celtics twice. Still got to play the Knicks again. So that's the top 3 seeds in the East. They got to play 5 times. OKC 2 more times. Houston and Memphis 3 times apiece. Like, this is not an easy schedule at all. They're going to have a lot of tough games, and that concerns me for their ability to really make serious progress in the standings. With that being said, I'm a lot less concerned about this team than I was a week ago. The Nick Richards addition, actually, despite not feeling like a huge one on paper, feels like it could make a big difference for this Phoenix Suns team. So I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.